understands that business is business. There have been times that I've sat down with some chiefs behind closed doors and literally wanted to choke them. Right? But we work business out. And when we leave the room, if whatever decision's made, that's the decision. And we can leave that room wanting to choke each other and go have a beer. Right? Because we all understand business is business. And I really appreciate that from the chiefs. Chuck Teston. Chuck Teston and his wife Beverly. I tell you what, this guy, been around forever, done some phenomenal things in his career, right? Shows up at Keesler, and the amazing thing is, I don't know how, Chuck, you're still relevant, man. And that's what, seriously, that's what's kick-ass. This guy comes in and is just, he's relevant. The things that he talks about, basic leadership principles, how to get the job done. They applied 50 years ago, they apply today, and they're going to apply 50 years from now. I can't say enough. So, Colonel Harrell, I had some folks over in the med group that I can say literally saved my life. And when I was going through that, Chuck Teston and his wife were on the phone every other day calling me, checking up on me. It means a lot, Chuck, Beverly. I really appreciate it. Thank you very much. Sorry.
Need my glasses?
No, I'm good.
Glasses.
No, I'm good. I refuse. So, you know, we support the mission to tech training, or we support the... God love him, Brian Margaret. He's awesome, right? He gets us out of trouble. So, you know, we support the mission to push tech training students out to the operational Air Force. And again, we do it in a great way. For me, after tech training, of course, was Holloman Air Force Base, and you said some of that. And in Holloman, you know, I got some dudes here that are here from Holloman. I mean, guys that I was stationed with. My first permanent duty assignment, like back in 1986. That's crazy, right? Here they are. Drove in from San Antonio, Texas, and it means so much to me. You guys, I cannot tell you what it means to me that you made the effort to get over here. Johnny, you can put one around. I made it this far, right? So, you know, I wrote down two kind of memories from my Holloman days with these guys. One of them was, I'll never forget, Johnny and Lenny, who are both here, singing with my dad. So we had a big party at the house at Holloman. Dad had come over. Mom was all worried about what the guys were going to think of my dad because he'd had a few beers. I said, they're going to love him because he bought all the beer, right? So Dad breaks out his guitar, starts playing, and he's playing a little Elvis, a little Heartbreak Hotel, and he gets to the point where, you know, they're supposed to say Heartbreak Hotel, and he looks over at Lenny and Johnny, and they're like, Heartbreak Hotel, man. I'll never forget that. Freaking awesome. Harvern Davis was, I got to move out of the dormitory like all everyone with 36 months, right? Me, Harvern, and Ronnie got a 3-bedroom apartment, and man, that was it was kind of crazy. It was good times, right? I love the weekends because the weekends were crazy. We lived really close to like the only club at Holloman. So we would just leave the window open outside our kitchen, and we'd wake up on Saturday and Sunday mornings and never know who was going to be sleeping on the floor. They would literally walk back to our apartment, climb through the window, and just crash on the floor, man. Yeah, crazy. I appreciate it. Great times. Thanks again for making the effort. You know, thanks for what you do. You guys set me up. Off to Offutt. Glen, again, meeting great folks there. Retired Master Sergeant Danny Bogus. You know, you find folks throughout your career that you need to lean on when you need to lean on them, and this dude's one of them. I mean, we carpooled to work every day for a couple of years, and man, helped me out more than you know, and I appreciate it. Thanks, Danny, for making the time to come over here. It's great. You meet folks like Wanda and Kelly Martin. You know, again in Florida, made the trip over here. Appreciate y'all making the effort to get over here. So. I'm absolutely freaking dumbfounded and blown away. I really am, seriously. Then off we went to BMT. And at BMT, I'll tell you what, I've never worked harder in my life, but I've never had more fun. Man, it was a great gig. I freaking loved it. And I tell everybody the 10 worst days of my Air Force career were all at BMT as an Air Force military training instructor. But the 100 best days of my Air Force career were all at Air Force Basic Military Training. It was just a great ride, and again, you know, you don't get through. It's a pretty tough environment. You know, it's a pretty tough environment. You guys saw the pictures. There was one up there in BDUs, like when I first got my hat, I looked like I was 12, right? That's what 10 years of BMT, man. I still looked like I was 12, you know? Holy crap. But again, you know, the only way that you make it through those things is by having people to lean on, shoulders to cry on, people to solve world problems with. Danny Reeves, right here, Senior Master Sergeant retired Danny Reeves. Man, Dave Staten, that's where me and Dave first met. I got Ed Bradley, that's where Ed and I first met. Benjamin Manalassis, Chief Manalassis now, worked for me as a, was it a staff or a tech? Staff sergeant. Here he is, a freaking chief, man. It's kick ass, right? So, but Danny, man, I tell you what, we've solved all the world's problems, but no one would ever listen to us. We'd sit down, we'd go have 4 or 5 beers, we knew how to fix everything. Nobody listened to us. So, but no, thank you so much. Had the opportunity just last month to stand up at his wedding. It's his best man. Him and Jackie been married just over a month now.
Freaking awesome.
Hell yeah. So again, came down from Ohio. Thanks again so much for doing that.
Thank you.
Yeah, cool. So since 2006, that was when I first became a squadron superintendent. So since 2006, for the past 9 years, I've been a superintendent at squadron and group level. I had a really little break of about 5 months where I actually ran the group stand eval at BMT. Still work for 06 there, but I've never had a bad boss. And it's funny because I talk to people, and they're like, you know, I talk to first sergeants or I talk to other superintendents, and they're like, you know, how have you dealt with this?